All right. Let's see what ends up happening. Personally, I've always hated Goblin Techie, so I hope this hero loses. I'd be very happy about life.
What kind of?
But at the same time,
you know, like,
I'm conflicted, bro.
Some things in this game define your character, and hating techies is not a sign of good character. Snare. You just want to be a normie. You just want to. You just want to have everyone like you, don't you? I'm a techies hater.
I don't like the heroes that... I don't mind techies as much now, but I've always hated heroes that fundamentally, this one hero changes the whole game. Like, you have to now all respond. Sort of similar to Alchemist. I've never been a fan.
Okay. Yeah, I get
heroes like Naga. The whole game is about this one hero now.
So you basically hate everything that I love. I get it.
Basically. Except you, bro.
Oh. Well, I don't love myself, so that's it's also good. Okay, we have a little bit of a fight maybe on the top room. Look at IG with the 5-man smoke. Try hard.
Yeah. This is what they're going to be able to accomplish from this. They don't have any big disables just yet. Emo did not opt to go for the very early shackle shot, went for power shot instead. And it turns out that this 5-hero smoke was a complete waste of time, Lizard. It accomplished absolutely nothing for them. And they just go to their lanes as normal.
And Bercy was like, eat ice, try hards, and just moves away. 2 bounty runes each. 2 on bottom, 2 on top. I mean, it's not the greatest loss, right? Just you having that smoke used. You're not really losing that way too much. Mid lane, we'll see how this matchup goes. Primal Beast, obviously, you go for that uproar. You do get right-clicked quite a bit, but if you hit Emo once or twice, he's going to definitely feel it.
Emo will feel it if it ends up suffering that damage, but for the most part, I think we're going to be having the classic of what the mid lane is like right now, in that nothing's going to happen. It's going to be a farm fest. If I look at these supports, maybe if Crystal Maiden can find a pretty buck Frostbite wrap around onto Emo, perhaps, but either way, I'm expecting almost nothing to happen middle.
I will see. Once they get levels, there's a lot of damage coming from both of them. Maybe a little bit earlier from Primal Beast, but with a good rotation, like you said, Crystal Maiden, techies as well rotating in, there can be kills. I think the lanes are very volatile. There's a lot of kill potential pretty much everywhere. Bot lane may be the least, but Beastmaster is already really damn low. If you get,
needs to actually be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually dead. He's actually dead. Yeah, he's gone. Meta is out. One more right click from Dust is all they need. And like you said, he was very low. But crucially, he also didn't have boots, so no defense available versus the Arcane Curse. In the meantime, in the top, Shangya gets taken out by Mercy and Fly. So both offlaners end up taking a tumble, but IG do get the bonus gold for the first blood, so they'll be happy with what just happened.
Yeah, it's like, you look at this bottom lane, and you're thinking, yeah, there is no kill potential on the Beast, but then Reflection plus Arcane Curse, the slow is insane. If you add in a Blood Grenade, like, you just cannot move away from Metamorphosis hitting you. So it is a little bit scary, yeah.
Terrifying amounts of damage early on coming in from the meta. The thing that could get scary, though, is that Piggy Killer, them finding this kill top is not just a kill, but it's also an additional stack for Fly. So the slog is some additional damage, makes the farming slightly easier, and you'll take any small advantage you can get early on as a slog when you're still a little fish in the big pond before you start to become the shark that everybody knows.
There's probably one lane where I didn't expect them to just feed that kill so early on, or feed a kill at all. I think that Brewmaster and techies are, forced to reckon with. So them dying that early on, it can get scary. Like Slark getting control of this lane together with Crystal Maiden can be really rough for IG.
It certainly can be, and the slog will become a big problem. Like you mentioned, it can pose issues for the TB later on. Speaking of TB, down bottom, they are putting out some more damage. We saw the combo again, Arcane Curse Reflection. Once these spells are back online and there's more mana for the Silencer, suddenly Frisk is... and they need to be very careful about his own life. In this game, Lizard, is there anything atypical that we're going to expect item-wise? Are there any situations that you can foresee somebody having to buck the usual trend to succeed in this game?
Well, on Dire, you might see something different because they're playing versus Silencer, right? You might see some Manta Primal Beast or something like that. Like maybe even a Manta Slark. Like you see a lot more Mantas being picked up instead of BKBs as of late. Even though maybe you definitely need a BKB because you're playing versus Brew as well. So Manta might just not be enough. But we'll see. Yeah. Besides that, I don't think anything incredible will happen. I'm looking at Primal Beast mostly to see what XM goes for. Is it going to be your standard run-of-the-mill BKB first or something different?
I mean, his counterpart on the Primal Beast on this Wind Ranger. The last time we saw Wind Ranger plus Silencer in the same team, Wind Ranger opted to not buy BKB, relying on the coverage that Global Silence will provide. So there's options for that for both Emo and Dust to go for in this game. Potentially, if they feel like QIQX is on point enough with the Globals that they can take that risk.
You know what? If you're buying a BKB on Wind Ranger early on, the game is wrong for a Wind Ranger. Like, I feel that this hero needs to snowball with every single item. And if you are forced to buy a BKB very early on, it doesn't feel that great.
Primal so we're anticipating her to just go for the Gleipnir. Yeah, Primal, he's here now. Only level 5 though, so they don't have the Pulverize just yet. Goes into the Onslaught though, and they will find out QIQX first and foremost. But here comes Emo to try and lend support. Shackle Shot doesn't latch, but XM will still take way too much damage and end up dead regardless. QIQX still alive somehow on the Silencer at the very edge of the tower.
Yeah, what was that all about? Top lane, Mercy?
Is Mercy gonna die here? He is still alive. He will end up taking a tumble, but PYW will also follow him into the grave. Fly, getting quite a few stacks out of this, and I think this Brewmaster's in a bit of danger. We only have 5 seconds before he has Cinder Brew available. There's Thunderclap.
Yeah,
he's fine. Yeah,
he's got 12 Magic Wand charges. He's got Healing Lotus. He's just not dying. There is no way in hell. But that bottom lane rotation by the Primal Beast. Oh, XM. That looked... Like, it's not like he was losing mid lane when it comes to CS. But he decided to use the 4-minute rune and move down bottom with it. Got punished super hard. They just don't have... I believe it was a level 2 Phoenix at the time. Like, level 2 Phoenix literally does nothing when it comes to damage. It slows you down a little bit with dive. Fire Spirits are horrendous level 1, so... Yeah.
I feel like had they gone for that play at level 6 when you had Pulverize, it's a very different story.
Of course,
when you do suddenly have some of that damage. And he might get level 6 off of killing Emo middle, but sadly, because he still doesn't have the 6, they have no way to lock down this Wind Ranger after the Frostbite. And now instead, they're coming in with QIQX to put some danger out onto XM. Shield Rune gets stolen away by the Silencer as well, just to make sure XM's life continues to be difficult.
PYW.
He's going to hope for at least a kill onto PYW. But he needs to be careful about moving on to this river because it's not like there aren't reinforcements from IG.
XM right now is like, guys, can you please just leave me alone? I need level 6. Once I have the 6, then we can start making plays. Because you called it yourself. If they had level 6 on the bottom lane, they would have gotten a kill. If they had level 6 now on the mid lane, Emo probably would have died when they went on him. But 3 heroes going on a Wind Ranger and not having any... disabled, it's not gonna happen.
It's turning into one of those games where one small decision cascades into larger ramifications down the line.
Like any
and that
game,
one
right?
choice for the rotation. Yeah. Dude, don't you just hate this when you have this one key decision, you make it, and you're like, the next 10 minutes are difficult just because one play didn't work out for you?
I really think that's every single game of Dota on high level. It's just that some
that's true.
It's just that some games aren't. It's not as noticeable, but it's all just cascades from the way the lane goes. You know why? Because there aren't as many mistakes on Tier 1 Dota anymore. Before, you could always kind of crawl back in because there are mistakes happening. And then these mistakes, if you capitalize on them, bring you back into the game. The teams just understand the way it should be played more and more, so...
Dota players getting better. We love to see it.
Yeah, maybe not that better in this patch, but soon they'll be just as strong.
Honestly, I can't wait to see the level of Dota we're going to have at TI as mid lane. About to have a very large skirmish here. 6 heroes are gathered up. Emo going on to XM with the focus fire. Shackle Shot will connect as well. Blast Off will be there, and they have the damage to kill off the Primal Beast. But they might bring down Emo. He doesn't have the win run anymore. Mercy, him and Frisk trying their best. PYW will be the first one to die, brought down by the Blood Grenade. Mercy will be forced to run away though. Power Shot brings him down, but he gets the freeze off on Emo before he goes down, setting up Arbo to find the Primal Roll and some damage with the axes, but he doesn't have much additional damage. Only level 2 on the boards, and they get the triple kill onto Frisk. Emo eventually falls to these wild axes, but Emo will take that trade any day of the week. A 3-for-1 affair, 3-for-2 rather. A lot of gold for the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, it's 3-for-2. It's also the fact that Beastmaster left bottom lane, like your TV, completely uncontested major win for IG. The fact that they killed off XM first as well. It just feels really damn good if you're Emo right now. He bought himself 2 crowns. 2 crowns because he's twice of a king that Sumail is on that mid lane. I'm kidding. Twitch chat, don't hate. But
I mean, he buys 2 crowns because he's a king of the mid and Wind Ranger's the queen of the mid, you know?
King of the mid and safe lane as well. So he plays both.
There we go.
It's kind of similar. Like, honestly, the 2 of them are kind of similar. Perhaps not in XM top.
He's fine. They missed a Shackle Shot, so they can't kill him. He's okay.
Perhaps not in old chat trash talk, as you can't really see Sumail doing that, but the way they play.
Global Silence gets popped as they try to go on Fly in the top lane here. Shackle Shot still doesn't connect. Fly gets off the Shadow Dance, but Blast Off still kills him. That is one option they have against the Slug, even through the Shadow Dance. Okay, very nice kill in the top lane, and very nice usage of the first global of the game.
They do have quite a few AoE damage spells, right? Like you have the Thunderclap, you have the Power Shot, and then you have Blast Off, so a lot of damage, like you just said, against the Slark. Global has been used to a pretty, in a pretty good way. They take down the tower as well.
The thing I like the most about that move is because they failed the earlier rotation. Normally that's when your mid laner has to just leave and you feel very sad, but them having the patience to stick around, they get that kill and they get the tower. PYW certainly gonna die here. Will provide some gold into the fund of Frisk, but the question is, will XM be able to escape? Shangyu making his way up, really wants to use this Primal Split. You know, we've been talking about some of the struggles of XM on his Primal Beast, and he indeed has been struggling, but we haven't really felt much impact just yet from the Brewmaster either.
Yeah, well, Brew at least was constantly on top lane, right? He was getting that farm. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster, both the Beasts on Piggy Killer have been struggling, like you said, but the Beast just picked up a pretty big stack of Ancients. He's almost got his Crimson Guard, actually, available. So that will mitigate a ton of damage coming from both the TB and the Wind Ranger. But it doesn't feel that great. It doesn't feel that offensive, right? Instead, did he just switch up? He just switched up into Greaves.
He did.
Yeah.
He did, yeah. Well, they're going to be dealing with some heal anyway at some point, right? From the enemy team once the techies picks up Greaves. But I would have liked Crimson Guard, like you mentioned, the damage mitigation. It's a rough place to be in, right? Because either you mitigate damage with the Crimson Guard or you go for sustain with this the mech Greaves. But either way, you have to be playing for your team. You can't necessarily just think about your own game.
Like, honestly, neither feels that great to me. But he's doing what he can, I guess. The problem that I see with it is that he's not really... Like, you can go for utility on Beastmaster. That's what's so strong about the hero right now. But what feels bad for me is the fact that they're not able to utilize it fast enough and take down an objective. Like, if you get mech super early on, and then you use that mech to go and take down a tower or group up, take team fights, then great. But when you're getting a mech later on in the game because your game isn't going well, then it kind of feels not as great. But at least with the Greaves, he also has a way of taking off Global Silence.
But he might die here as he find himself getting ATOSed up by Emo. Global Silence comes in again. They really want to bring down Ava, and they should be able to do so. At the same time, QIQX caught in with the Pulverize and falling very, very low not dead just yet, though. Brewmaster popped his ultimate, helping to keep the silencer alive, but it will eventually not succeed. Fly, he's right now in front of the tier 1 tower. He's shackled up. He's in danger here. He's about to die, but will be saved by the supernova going off from Fade, forcing back the rest of IG. That being said, power shot almost kills him. They have to retreat from this area. All right, ends up being a 2-for-1 exchange. Supports in exchange for this offlaner. But that fight could have gone really south of Piggy Killer had they not found the level 6 just in time for that Phoenix.
Yeah, they do have still another Pulverize to work with, so maybe they can utilize that to take down the tier 1 tower. Let's see if IG even wants to fight this. They could still bring down Terrorblade, right? Like, he could come here down to the safe lane. Pulverize is used.
They're going to Emo, but they're not going to be able to find him. QIQX, he's going to be the weaker target. They pounced onto him with Fly, but here comes Dust. Terrorblade has made his presence known, but Terrorblade gets roared up immediately. Terrorblade gets pulverized and killed. He is dead. Down to rights. Emo almost falling, surviving by the skin of his teeth with 20 HP. But I don't think Shangya will be as lucky. As he gets onslaughted into, XM tramples him down for a double kill. And although the first engagement didn't look so great for Piggy Killer, the second one, Liz, excellent fight from them. They get a tier 1 tower and 2 cores on top of it.
Yeah, I was inviting the TB over, but it seems like Piggy Killer were as well. They were inviting him and expecting him with open arms. He comes in, he gets pulverized. Like I said, that Primal Beast used it on Wind Ranger, but he couldn't because of the last word. So he didn't actually pulverize her. Instead, he waited for the TB to TP in. And yeah, perfect fight for Piggy Killer. They take down the carry. Slark is now on top of the network charts.
Well, that's scary. This is the kind of Slark game where you certainly can pop off. About to finish off the Aghanim Scepter. And we saw the TB. Maybe showed up a little bit half-cooked to that fight. Like, yes, the hero is still the most farmed in the game, but there's a very good reason, Liz, that we often see Terrorblades just completely AFK until they feel like they personally are ready. So maybe one more item. If you had the full Manta, but even then, he might not have survived, right? Primal Roar is just too strong against him at this moment.
Yeah, like maybe if he sunders the right target and he has teammates around him, but the best case scenario for him would have been just continue farming, you know, continue farming, chilling, don't join until you're really that strong. Because one thing that Piggy Killer do have, like even though the laning stage didn't go that great for them, they're extremely tanky, and they're the kind of a lineup that can just roll in, show up now with the mech, with the Greaves from Beastmaster, and take you down one by one, mindlessly, right? Just run in. At the moment, at least. But once Terrorblade becomes big, that might not be as easy anymore.
Still have Emo also about to finish off having a full Gleipnir, but middle. XM starting to actually become a viable threat in this game. About to pick up the BKB. As soon as that is finished, I imagine they're going to smoke up again on the side of Piggy Killer. Just needs a little bit more mana, but that's why Mercy's in the game. Next to the Arcane Order.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's the Crystal Maiden contribution always. At least you have the aura, no matter what. Yeah, like you called, there's a BKB coming on Primal Beast. There's also Aghanims completed on Slark. What else that's big? Beastmaster, he needs, 1,000 gold, 900 gold, and he has the Crimson Guard too. So, yeah, all things said and considered, they're not in the worst spot at the moment. I believe that the next fight they can definitely take. Terrorblade doesn't feel like he's in that power spike yet where he has the Skadi, right? Dust. He still needs to complete that, I believe, before he's going to be a true menace.
Yep. And they actually pick him out. They have a Beastmaster Hawk directly on top of him. So they smoke in his direction. They really want this TB. They don't have Blink Daggers, but they do have Onslaught on XM. So Dust is super dead. Nice to have known you, buddy. Hope you enjoyed life. But he's definitely going to die. They popped a Global Silence to try and get the kill here. Global Silence is going to cover him. The Supernova, though, goes off. Here comes the Pulverize. Pavisto onto Dust, keeping him alive. And they're turning this fight, listen. They're going back. They brought down Arbor. They really want Mercy as well. Brewmaster with the split will be able to accomplish it as they brought down 3 heroes with XM dying solo to Emo deeper in the fight.
Maybe 4.
Frisk not going to be allowed to escape either as he gets shackle shotted down by Emo, who has a double damage rune. And somehow, some way, the priority target of all of this is still alive. This Terrorblade manages to survive the fight. And Lizard, you know what happened in that fight? XM popped his BKB too soon.
What happened in that fight is you called Terrorblade to be dead way too soon, my friend. That's something that I noticed you do more than anyone else. Like, you're like, yeah, this guy's dead. That's it. Rip. Build a tombstone. Dig the grave.
Pepperonis.
Yeah. But they have a lot of ways of saving him. A lot of these small utility items that come in handy, like Pavis that you called. There's a Glimmer Cape as well. There's Pipe on the Brewmaster, like a ton of things that you use to help him. Obviously, Sunder as well, right? Plus the global silence to prevent a lot of magic damage. So, yeah, he survives.
Hear me out, Liz.
This was huge. I'm sorry. I'm not flaming you. It's just funny. It's just funny.
As QIQX dies top, right? I think if they had the BKB for the global and they pulverized them during global, before he sunders, I think he dies. We'll see if he dies now, though. Right now, he does have allies streaming in. He's still alive for the moment. He's falling very low. Dust. He doesn't have Sunder for another 10 seconds. They kill off the Crystal Maiden. Fly really wanted Dust, but not going to be able to find him. They miss out with the Icarus as well. No Sun Ray damage.
I love how you weren't like going anymore with, yeah, he's dead. You were like,
no,
let's see what happens. There are some
I've been called out now, bro.
Yeah, there are some heroes that you always have to be careful if they have the ulti, right? Like the Sunder and stuff. No matter what the game is like, no matter what it looks like. Top lane though, Dust. Let's see. Is he certainly dead here?
No, he's
Sunders.
They don't have Shadow Jan, so suddenly it's going to be Fly that might die as he gets himself global silence as the Dark Pad is not available. He is dead. The Supernova will come out, and there's a Pulverize to stun out the Silencer, but Trample kills him. But XM, do you survive and escape this, my friend? No, you do not. Killed off on the Primal Beast. And I don't know why they went in for that jump. They knew he had Sunder back, and they didn't have the Shadow Jans on the Slog, and now they might even end up losing more. Gleipnir stalling up the Beastmaster. We need some further chase, though, and the rest of IG not necessarily in position. So you got Eternal Chained, but is allowed to escape on the Beastmaster. But another fight won for the IG.
Yeah, I feel like they're really too eager to take these fights without the full force. I think that they should be utilizing the Beastmaster up front a little bit more. He's got Greaves, he's got Crimson Guard. He should be the one that you fight with. He went full utility. He's not farming that much. He's keeping up with net worth. It's just not this crazy beast position 1 of the net worth charts, right? So maybe they could utilize him a bit more. Also, interesting that TB Phoenix is going to die bot.
Phoenix is gone. Slok was trying to hunt down the techies potentially top. That's not going to happen. Poor Frisk has just had a really rough game on this Phoenix. Just kept being hunted down over and over and over again. They're going to try and avenge his life, though, as they are smoked up through this mid lane, Beastmaster and the Crystal Maiden. They don't know where Emo's at, but Mercy's going to be the first one to TP there.
Yeah, you saw that.
Did he deny the wisdom?
Yeah, he denied it with the illusion rune.
What a player.
Mercy even TP'd down, and they actually brought the Beastmaster with that smoke down on the bottom lane. But yeah, it was all just an illusion. Some pretty.
I was just gonna say that illusion changes the game a lot because these supports need experience on Piggy Killer. These fights not going their way does deny them the experience they need. If not for the Silencer doing so poorly with experience, I'd feel really, really concerned for Mercy in this game.
I think you're completely right. Like in the last patch and all the patches before, if you're a support, you're lacking gold. It's kind of rough, right? Like if you don't have a good laning stage and suddenly you don't have gold. In this patch, it feels more about top lane. Let's see this. Fly manages to get out. Yeah. In this patch, it feels really more about the experience. Like back in the day, you give him mid a little bit, he comes back. But Exp is hard to find now. Fly.
He's fine. It's just Fly Dota. The person I'm really concerned for is Emo down bottom, as he could die here. Mercy finds him with the Crystal Nova. Onslaught connects onto him as well, but the Shackle Shot, oh no! Great plays from Emo. Global Silence to help cover this as well. And now here come the reinforcements. XM pops the BKB and the Supernova on the high ground as well. Should be able to stun these heroes out. I say that. But none of them were hit with Fire Spirit, so they have all the attack speed in the world. The Supernova does die, but it bails out the life of XM, which is much more important.
Yeah, I think that's still a good egg. Even if he dies there, they focus him. Your Primal Beast survives. Fly should be fine as well. It's just alone, right? Like there is no way that they rotate around the Crystal Maiden and Slark. They are smoked though.
Yeah. They know that there's no Supernova. They don't know there's no Freezing Field, but these spells are down. Let's see what kind of catch they can find. Mid lane or bottom, they want this Eternal Chains onto Fly, and they do catch him, but he's trying to go through the Twin Gate. Denied doing so. Blast Off will be there. Goes into the Shadow Dance. They really want this kill. They're preventing the angles for the pounce. He finally gets a way out. Mercy gave the necessary slow with the Crystal Nova, and TP's out.
It was like one of those kills that, yeah, it would suck if they don't get it, but they're next to the pit, so they use the meta still for a good cause. They go win it, and I believe Emo should be getting a free... No, actually TB should be getting the Aegis. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to kill Emo, I guess. He's going to have his Aghanim's now completed too. He's very tanky. Same goes for TB. It's all on who's going to be hitting the tower, the objectives, and I guess Dust will once he gets his meta back up, right?
It's also going early Butterfly for Dust, and there's no MKB on the horizon for anybody from Piggy Killer. Gonna be a very big item. And you know, speaking of protective items, you know XM has BKB, but he's still the only one on his team that has it. Fly doesn't have a way to dispel the Global Silence if he doesn't already trigger off the Dark Pact. He's building Manta to try and help him in that regard, though.
I feel like Manta is currently replacing BKB for almost any hero, especially the universal ones.
Universal heroes, man. The other universal hero that's in this game, obviously we have techies, but this Brewmaster, I feel like ever since that series that we saw him on in CTC, he just has not been allowed to have impact on the Brewmaster. It's been a couple of okay Cyclones this game, but overall, have you felt the strength of this hero in his hands?
Well, I'm not sure how to answer it. I mean, he's bringing utility. There's a couple of heroes on the offlane right now that they can build pretty much anything. Brewmaster, you see one of those, probably he went for what? He's got Crimson Guard, he's got a pipe, he's building into an AC. I think the impact is there. It's not like massive, like some Magnus offlane that it's very visible what he's doing with the RP, but the impact definitely is there.
So he's playing like a defensive mid in football. Might not know what he's doing, but making a lot of plays happen. Top lane, they're gonna try and find Mercy here. He did manage to evade the blast off, and now they're calling reinforcements. Who do they kill off in this situation? Shanya goes in for the primal split, brings out these Brewlings. They want to force the fight. Freezing Field from Mercy. Beautiful Shackle Shot, though. Between Fade and Beastmaster, neither of them can cast spells because they got caught out by this. They get followed up on by the Global Silence and right-click down by Dust. XM might share a similar fate. He's trying to escape away from the Sticky Bomb. The whole boulder will be there. They bring down this Primal Beast. Is he going to die? Yes, he does. At long loss, Primal Roar will hold back PYW, but another Shackle Shot. Nice depth round from the slot, but unfortunately there's a blast off to hold these heroes in position to allow Dust to rain down the damage. And that makes that 4 heroes dead on the bounce. Nobody dies on IG, and they get a tier 2 tower as some dessert after a lovely dinner of Piggy Killer.
Yeah, I love how you were questioning the Brewmaster, and instantly after he gets a massive fight, like he goes in, gives a lot of info, they follow up. Like that's usually the case with the Brew, right? You can go in and start a fight without being worried that you're going to die. Yeah. You give a lot of info to your teammates, and then the fight can be followed up accordingly. Nice global as well. He was saving it for... I'm not sure if he was only saving it for post-Yule's Phoenix, but it came after the use of Phoenix, so they never even had the egg. You can see it right here, the shackle shot. The global is still not used. And then after he lands, you see it. He still had like a millisecond in which he could have popped it. Maybe they should have used that egg.
Fight would have been very different had the egg come out, but sadly did not. Must say emo as well. These shackle shots, man, on point. Twice in this fight, we saw some very clutch ones. Makes the game so easy. And what sucks is that you were speaking earlier about how for the Slock, they have various tools on the side of IG to deal with him even during Shadow Dance. The same is true for the Death Drop. We just saw in that fight that he can't necessarily rely on this to save his team because they can get through and pierce the veil of darkness and kill off these heroes.
Yeah, what's really good is the AoE stun, right? Like, the damage is there, but also the AoE stun coming from PYW.
Oh, IG now. 7K gold ahead. We are in Terrorblade territory right now. He is the net worth leader in the game, has Butterfly, Skadi Manta, a D-Lance as well. So
yeah,
nobody can tussle with this guy right now.
Pretty much. I feel like he feels unkillable. As long as he has a teammate or two around him, it will be extremely difficult to take him down. And he basically, as Lark, what fights do you like? You like these long, prolonged fights, right? Like you get to stack up your stacks. Emo searching for Frisk top lane.
Doesn't find him, sadly.
He is still searching. He sees the fire spirits on Valking. He's just,
oh my gosh. Eternal Chains out. They should have this damage. He uses up this Wind Ranger, throws back a Fire Spirit. Power Shot will connect, but Frisk is still going to be alive.
Bot lane.
Bottom lane though, Slock. Will he be as lucky? Nice little blast off there. Could have cancelled out the freezing field. Slock, him and Shangyu trying to bring down the separate targets. Shangyu kills off the Crystal Maiden. Slock kills off the techies. But the question is, will Slock escape this? He doesn't have the Shadow Dance anymore, and he doesn't have any more life as Dust has shown up. Shangyu there with the control. My friend, I'm sorry I ever questioned you, Shangyu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I see your value now.
Yeah, having a little bit of impact on his Brewmaster, definitely. But also the TP from the Wind Ranger, the Gleipnir, just control. So much of it coming from her. Like, even the Phoenix on top lane almost died, but he survives because of the Yule's mid lane, XM. He blinks out.
He has a blink, Emo does not, so Emo will not be able to keep that chase going. But still, XM will not be able to avail himself bottom to defend the tier 2 tower, so this just goes down for free. Easily taken away by the side here of IG.
Yeah.
I don't remember what time they took the Tormentor for Piggy Killer, so I don't know if they could stick around to try and steal it for IG.
Yeah, it's the one that... Who got it from them?
I think Phoenix?
Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix has a shard, so it looks like Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. So they have two shards, one on Phoenix and one on Slark, right? Yeah, that's it. Do you think that it was... So Slark had to buy his. That's basically why I was asking it. I'm just thinking if that was a little bit too defensive or that you really need it.
Speaking of Slark, he's going Nullify next. He's not going to angle towards getting a Harpoon or a BKB. He has Manta to dispel the Global Silence. Is this the Nullifier game? So let's think. What does it get rid of? It gets rid of the Wind Run, which is very good.
That's it. You're buying it versus Wind Run. You're not buying it versus anything else too much. So we'll see. It does give them a way to actually kill off Emo, and he does seem to be the biggest problem.
Sadly, though, if that happens here, Lizard, that means they still don't have MKB for Dust. Fly got himself shackled very quickly, Shangyu. Frostbite is on him, but he is not concerned about losing his life too soon. Goes in for the Primal Split. Ava's going to be the one instead that is going to be in some jeopardy. Hurl Rock is on him, but here comes XM. Onslaught, they maybe want Dust, but they just want to create enough space so they can escape this fight. They had a Shadow Dance already from the Slog. Instead, who gets left behind? It's good old Mercy. Bye-bye, Myan Myan. He is easily dead to rights. Fly. Be a bit careful, my friend. You don't have a shadow dance here. Shackle shot doesn't connect. The Beastmaster, though, in danger. They try to go in with Frisk with the Supernova, but nobody's going to get stunned by this here, Liz. Fly going in onto QIQX. The Global Silence has inspired now, but the Blast Off hasn't. They throw it back in. They find XM. Primal Roar went in from Arbor, but it's not going to help him out whatsoever. Emo kills him off for a double. Finds the Eternal Chains onto Fade. So this should turn into a triple very shortly. He holds us up into the air just to buy space and time. Shackle shot chases him past the Icarus dive. So that means that his life will be forfeit. Dead right in front of the Lotus Pool. 4 heroes have fallen. And Piggy Killer, yet again, lose another fight here. And Lizard, this might be the last one because IG are trying to go down and at least claim 1 lane of racks off of this.
Yeah, Slark did manage, so Flyfly managed to actually creep skip 1 wave, and he should be able to creep skip another. As you can see, he's farming under the tier 2. He decides not to. Instead, he just continues farming. The creep skipping didn't really help them anyway. The fortification didn't come through, so they didn't get the creeps that were inside of the base already. That's, I believe, the Satanic as well completed on Terrorblade after the last fight. And yeah, that last fight, once again, Slark goes in. He likes these prolonged fights, but IG does not allow you to have prolonged fights. They have way too much catch, and they have way too much damage. So you can't just poke and prod, go back and in. Especially because your teammates don't want to do it as well. Slark wants to, but Phoenix, he just wants to pop the egg and fight. Same goes for Beast. Both Beasts.
Poor Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hasn't been allowed to actually have much impact outside of just sacrificing his own life. It's been rough for these supports on Piggy Killer. And now they're going to get the second Aegis of the game. Cheese in tow as well, so Dust gets the Aegis. Actually, I think you just give Emo the cheese, give Dust the Aegis. Emo shouldn't die that fast, so he should be able to get off the item. Oh boy, what's the plan now, Lizard? If you're on the side of Piggy Killer, you lack damage, you lack sustainability, and you just lack the long control necessary to deal with both Emo and Dust. So how do you fix these things in the next 5 minutes? Because they're coming to try and end the game in that duration.
Yeah, I sincerely think that will be almost impossible to happen. You can always delay high ground, I guess, just by spamming them down. You have Crystal Maiden, you have your Beastmaster Axes, so maybe you can spam them down and defend high ground. There's an Aghanims now in Primal Beast too, to help out with the damage. And Slark that you mentioned, he was building Nullifier. Well, he switched it up. He's actually going for an MKB instead. Okay. So maybe you can get that MKB and then fight. But if they are forced to fight before it, they'll have the same damage issues.
It's rough, right? Because you do kind of need both items, like the Nullifier and the MKB, to be effective in this game. And you'll need these items right now because his base is under pressure and under siege. They're going for the high ground tier 3, falling very low with this Metamorphosis. The Sun Ray is going to dissuade them a little bit, but they will still be able to claim the tier 3 tower. Shackle Shot doesn't connect onto SRF, but still, Dust wants to put damage out onto the racks themselves. Brewmaster goes in for the ultimate. They get a Supernova onto the high ground. Blastdorf did come out from the techies, but they just demolished the egg. Mercy also caught in and killed. Both supports dead. Only Phoenix has buyback, but he doesn't have an ultimate. And as they get through the base, they realize that there's no option left. Between the damage of Emo, the damage of Dust, and the demolish of the Brewmaster, there's nothing left to defend for Piggy Killer. So game 1 goes in favor of